Oh, Miss Kay, what? Oh, that was.
Ooh, wow.
Wait, that was.
Oh, she is a maniac.
That was some workout.
Ooh, wow.
Oh,
Oh.
we're really starting 1985 off with a bang. Here we are exercising. We're being really, just really physically fit, taking care of ourselves.
We really are.
Miss Jane Fonda. Does it get any better than that?
She's gorgeous.
She's gorgeous.
Oh, she just moves like a butterfly.
Oh.
She's just amazing.
She does move
Absolutely
like
amazing.
a butterfly. Yeah, she really is.
Oh, gosh.
Wow, that was just a great workout.
Whew.
Yeah. Well, Miss Kay, you look kind of down. What's going on?
No,
We just had a great workout. What's the problem?
I know. It just, Jane, she's amazing. Just amazing. She's
She is.
gorgeous. The hair, just gorgeous hair.
Well, she's a
Her
good-looking
makeup's
lady.
gorgeous. Her thighs are like the size of my wrist. She's
Well,
got the hips of a 10-year-old boy.
Well,
just things like never gonna have. Just never
no.
gonna have it. I'm never
Miss
gonna
Kay,
look
Miss
like her.
Kay, Miss Kay.
I want to be her.
Oh, Miss Kay.
I want to be her. I want to be.
No.
I want to be someone else
No,
that looks,
Miss Kay,
looks like her.
Miss Kay. Let's rein it in a little bit. It sounds like you really have a bad case of the wish-a-wers.
I kind of do have a bad
Oh.
case of the wish I were.
Oh.
I wish I were someone else.
Oh, Miss Kay. I wonder if other people feel that way sometimes.
Does anybody else out there suffer from a case of the wish I were sometimes?
Miss Kay. Oh.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Weekly Wellness with Miss K and Dr. D. I'm Miss K, and I'm a licensed clinical social worker here in Indianapolis.
And I'm Dr. D, and I'm a licensed clinical psychologist here in Indianapolis.
And, well, appropriately, we're
What are we
going
talking
to be
about today?
talking about body image.
Body image. Oh, well, at this time of year, it seems like that's an appropriate thing to do because a lot of people go on diets and that
They
type
do.
of thing.
They do.
So we want to talk about healthy body image. What does that even mean, Miss Kay?
So, so developing and maintaining a healthy body image is
Yeah.
all about, having an appreciation and a healthy perspective on your body.
Yes.
And the health of your body that is very specific to you, the
Yes.
one and only body that you have.
Miss Kay, I like to call it the care and feeding of you.
The care and feeding of you. That's
you.
a perfect way to put it.
Yes, thank you.
Having a healthy body image and the care and feeding of you as an individual
Yes.
with your particular body.
Uh-huh.
And so when we talk about healthy body image and having a healthy, realistic perspective on our body and our body type, we have, we have our 3 tips. We have
Yeah.
our weekly 3 tips
Yeah.
about how we do that and how we maintain that that healthy body
Yeah.
image, because it is in our culture, as we all know, it is not an easy
hard.
thing
That's
to
true.
do.
It's hard to keep that. So for number 1, I think our number 1 tip should be to have a realistic view of our own body.
A realistic view, realistic perspective of our own bodies.
Yes.
Exactly.
And what's attainable for us and
Right.
what's healthy for us. So that's number 1.
Number
realistic
1.
view.
Tip number 2.
Yeah.
The understanding that you are much more than a number on a scale. Or a size
In
of
your
your
jeans,
pants, a
yeah.
number on the size of your pants.
Yeah.
Or your or your shirt or
Right.
your bra or whatever.
Right.
You're more than that.
Yes.
Okay, so
You are.
we'll go into more detail on that. Number 3, the third tip.
Number 3 is plan for life. Instead of coming up and following the next fad diet or the next juice cleanse or whatever it is, really trying to plan for your life. Do things that are healthy for you for the long haul
So
versus coming up
just a diet,
versus a 30-day diet or whatever.
Right, or whatever, like the latest cleanse, like you said,
Right.
because there's always going to be something. So plan for life versus diet.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So
Number
Tip
one.
number one.
Yeah.
So a realistic view of your body.
Yes.
And an appreciation for the body that you
Yes.
have. And so there's a lot of different things that go into this.
Number one is that at 43, I'm not 23. And so there's going to be things about my body now that were not an issue 20 years ago.
And at 23, I'm not where I was when I was 15. Just kidding. And I know it seems hard to believe, but understanding the age of our bodies. And this is something that I personally have struggled with. I am not 23 anymore.
Right.
And at 47, I have had a very difficult time adjusting to the fact that my body is aging, and there are things that I cannot do anymore the way I used to do them. My body looks different than it did. And than it did even 10 years ago.
Right.
Having a child actually has changed the shape of my body.
I can't jump on trampolines anymore safely.
She has accidents if she jumps on a trampoline. But, understanding what happens, I have had a hard time adjusting to that. My body is changing. There are things that I can do to continue to appreciate what I have and keep what I have as healthy as possible, but understanding that everyone ages and you have to adjust and you have to accept the changes that are happening in your body. It is just a fact of life.
And you know what? Another part of that is respecting the fact that everyone has different body types, right? We're all made differently. We're all unique. But if you are somebody who tends to be more apple-shaped, right? So you carry more of your weight in your midriff and you tend to have really, really small legs. If you're really, really wishing that you had round hips and full thighs, that's likely not going to happen for you.
It is a waste of time and energy. You must work with what you
Work
have.
with
That's
what you
all we
got.
have.
Yeah.
I will always be a hippie person.
You're a hippie.
I have been my whole life. I will be for the rest of my life. And
you came out of the womb.
I came out of the womb
hips.
with full womanly hips. And I was born to reproduce. It's not going to change. And this is something that, would I like to be able to fit into pants and look a little different in them, a little better, not quite so broad in the beam? Yes. But look, that's not what I'm dealing with. I have hips, and I am going to always
have hips.
have hips.
That's just the way you're put together.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. And
so,
unless you had tons and tons of money in order to get that altered, that's just the way you're made.
Yes.
Right? And even if you did have tons and tons of money, you might look silly in the end.
You're going to look ridiculous.
Anyway.
People have seen all of the cosmetically altered bodies and the ways that people can change their body shapes. And,
sometimes
ultimately,
it doesn't look good. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Very often it doesn't.
Yeah.
But, just working with what you have
Absolutely.
and being the healthiest in the body type that you have.
And I think it's also important to remember that when we emulate, when we see people in the media and we really want to look like them, and we think, oh my God, I should be able to look like that, I should be able to be that weight, I should be able to be that active, whatever. It's important to remember that these people make their money doing that. Their job is to look a certain way.
That is their livelihood, and that is what they do.
Yeah.
That is what they are able to focus their time and money on.
And money. Yeah. Most
people
of us
cook
can't
for
do
them. Right. Well,
Right.
we live real lives, but people cook for them. People shop for them. People dress them, and it is not something that we have that is
That
not
most
a
of us have
realistic,
time. Yeah.
attainable thing for most people.
Exactly.
And
Okay.
so,
Right. So that was number one.
okay, so yes, and I think one other thing that you had mentioned before, when we were talking about Jane Fonda and
Oh, right.
just the struggles that she was actually facing when we talk about
Emulating people in the media. She's a beautiful woman. But at the time she was doing those videos, she was suffering with an eating disorder.
She was suffering from an eating disorder,
Yeah, and so you only get a little bit of the story when
Correct.
we see people who are in the media and they look a certain way. We don't know what goes on in the background. We don't know what they have to do in order to look a certain way or
Right.
feel a certain way.
Right.
And so it's just important to keep that in mind, that we only get a little bit of the story.
Absolutely.
And we have to live our own lives and take care of our own bodies.
Right. Correct.
It's very important.
Absolutely. And so, number two.
Yeah.
When we talk about that you are much more than a number on a scale
Or
a
pant size, or
a size
shirt
of pants
size,
or
yes.
a size of a shirt.
So, and that's true, right? Because
Yes.
some people can use the scale responsibly, and they can monitor their weight and monitor their health responsibly. But for a lot of us, that really shouldn't be how we monitor how we're doing, how we're
Right,
feeling.
exactly. Or what standard we're trying to reach, or how that affects how we
Right.
feel about ourselves and our worth.
It should really be more about, do my pants fit comfortably?
exactly.
Do I have to unbutton my pants when I have dinner at night?
Right.
Right? Or am I able to get in and out of bed comfortably? Am I able to sleep comfortably? Do I have to wear a CPAP because I have too much weight on my chest at night? Do I have to, do I struggle to get up off the floor if I'm playing with my grandkids?
Right.
Those are the real kind of lifestyle measures
Of
that
your
should help
health
you
and of your
keep track of your health versus just a number on a scale.
Right, like you're, going for, I'm going to get 2 more pounds off tomorrow, and I better.
Why?
And then I mean,
Yeah.
I know people that
Yeah.
and you may have experienced this yourselves out there. When I've gained a pound, I feel shitty all day now,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
it's like this isn't a measure of your worth. That number is not a measure of your worth.
Yeah.
Your feelings, your feelings about your
Physical
physical
feelings
health
and your mental health
and your mental
feelings,
health, and
that's
how
your real-
comfortable you
yeah.
are in your daily activities. That should be the focus.
Absolutely. Yeah. So that was number 2.
That was number 2.
Okay, and number 3, which just makes so much sense to me. Number 3 makes a lot of sense to me.
Well, yes. So that being the
life
plan versus a
Diet
standard crazy diet.
Right.
So what that really means, I mean, obviously these diets come and go, and they are often, like we've talked about, very temporary. I mean,
Yeah.
the results.
The results can be temporary.
Yes.
The diet usually has a specific amount of time that's allotted to it.
Right.
And it's really should, I think, in my humble opinion, it should really be more about how are you taking care of yourself for the long haul.
Right.
So
And-
if you say, I'm never going to have another chocolate chip cookie the rest of my life because those chocolate chip cookies made me fat, I'm going to say, I bet you're going to have another cookie at some point.
And it's just not realistic to put those kinds of strict,
Right.
Rigid rules.
Like never,
onto
never,
your-
never.
Yeah, like or I'm absolutely going to exercise every single day.
Right.
And I will not settle for anything less, and I'm going to be, disappointed in
I'm
myself.
going to beat up on myself if I don't do it right. Yeah.
Right, and so these kind of rigid rules that go along with these temporary diets, ultimately are. It isn't a plan for your life.
Right.
And the greatest changes happen when you make those alterations in your lifestyle.
And there should be times when you get to have cookies, right? I mean, I think so.
Of course.
Right?
So, absolutely.
Yeah, there should be
And
times where you say, tonight I'm going to eat cookies with Miss K.
Right. Or have pizza or something like that. But, I mean, you just have to give yourself some flexibility. And so, kind of avoiding these strict diets that, again, the results are really temporary because ultimately you're not making the lifestyle changes, the lifestyle alterations that are needed for long-term success and long-term change.
Yeah. And so life plan really is about what can I do realistically for myself to take care of myself. And that, as always, includes how do I get the appropriate amount of sleep?
Yes.
How do I eat the most nutritious food that I can eat for myself while allowing still for times where I'm going to have some snacks because that's what typically happens.
Right.
But how do I make healthy snack choices as
Right.
well, right?
Right.
Snacks can be
Exactly.
a lot of different things. And how do I get regular physical activity? Am I the kind of person who needs to do it an hour at night, 4 times a week? Or am I someone who would do better to break it up into 15-minute intervals throughout the day? Whatever
It's
works.
different for everybody. And I just want to mention really quick our friend Ben, who has a very interesting plan. Hi, Benji.
I love Ben.
Very interesting plan that has worked very well with him. He has become very physically fit
He looks
just
great.
in
Yeah.
the fact that he eats healthily during the week.
Yeah.
And on Sundays, every Sunday, that is his day that he gets to eat sugar and kind of indulge.
Yeah.
And that's worked very well for him.
It does work really
That might
well.
not work for everybody, but he's not being so strict. Like he understands that he wants to have a special day where, I get to eat what I want,
Yeah.
and that's going to be on Sundays. And
Yeah.
that works for him, maintains a great weight, eats healthily most
Yeah.
of the time during the week, but
And
gives
feels
him...
and ultimately he feels good about himself.
Yes.
Which I think is, I mean,
Yes.
everybody just wants to be okay. I truly
Yes.
believe that. Everybody just wants to be okay. We want to feel okay about ourselves. We want to be accepted by our peer group. We want to be okay with our families. Ultimately, that's what we want.
Right.
And so anything that helps you to get to that point where you just feel okay, where you're not beating yourself over the head because you ate the cookie, where you're not eviscerating yourself because you have too many pounds on the scale, if you can get to the point where you feel okay, that's what we want.
That is healthy, and that is having a healthy body image. Like, I'm okay with what I have. I've done the best with what I have. I'm as healthy as I can be. I am...
Life plan.
Yes, taking care of myself for the long haul, not the, I need to lose 30 pounds in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Really?
30 pounds in 2 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly. Exactly, Miss K.
those are, so I think that's kind of,
Those were our tips.
yeah.
Those were the three.
Those
and then
were-
we discussed them.
Right. And, one more thing. You had talked about, good advice about, like, when we talk about this
yeah.
lifestyle,
Yeah.
kind of having more of a lifestyle change versus a diet. You have talked about, with patients about, like, when you do want to take some pounds off so that your joints feel better
Yeah.
or so that your heart is working better or all kinds of different reasons. You had good advice as far as, if you want to
When you first start out, I believe very strongly, you need to start taking an inventory of what you're eating. And I just say don't change your eating. Don't change your eating. If you're going to eat those cookies. All I say is that write down what you're going to eat before you eat it.
and be
consistent about it.
Uh-huh.
And what that does is it at least allows you to have some control over what you're doing. Like you're writing it down and you're slowing down a little bit. So instead of just
putting a little more thought into the things that are
Right.
going into your
and then
into
you
your
can
stomach.
actually look at what you're eating. But really we do get into this kind of this way of thinking where we just are just putting food in our mouth and we're not really taking the time to even taste it. And if you take a minute to write down what you're actually going to eat, it does at least play into kind of makes it a little bit more meditative.
Right. Exactly. And I
Makes
think
you calm down a little
that is very good advice.
Yeah.
So let's see here. So that's pretty much our tips
That's
for
it.
this week.
That's it, Miss K.
And to be honest with you, Dr. D,
Yeah.
I'm feeling a little bit less like a maniac,
Oh!
if you know what I mean.
I totally do, Miss K. Yeah, because that was what was playing
Yeah,
at the beginning.
yeah,
of our
exactly,
week.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Guess we could maybe go do a little more of a workout.
We could.
Probably get some pizza afterward.
Maybe treat
Afterward, yeah.
ourselves to a little bit of pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe let's get let's get physical.
Oh, Miss K, you're too much. You're too much. Let's do it.
Get physical. I wanna get physical.